Hi, I'm Brett Veinotte.
And I'm Thaddeus Russell.
Today, what we're doing is we're just going to talk for 15 minutes about this event that I've been teasing my audience with for the last couple weeks now, and we've been planning behind the scenes for, about a month. You're going to be coming to New England this summer, and we thought it would be interesting to reunite for a joint event. The working title right now, which is probably going to wind up being the title, is Renegade University and School Sucks Project present A Weekend with Thaddeus Russell.
I like it.
And it's going to be a bit of variety. Originally, we were thinking, all right, it'll be about one topic, but I surveyed my audience on a few different ideas, and people were really, really interested in renegade views of current events, whatever they might be, this August. And, this upcoming book that you're writing called Blood and Freedom is seeming like it's going to be increasingly relevant. Fortunately for the book, unfortunately for humanity, over the summer, the way things are going. So the reason why people are going to be hearing this on Monday, the 24th, there's a bit of urgency here with this message, is you are going to be on Tom Woods on Monday, the 24th. Do you know what you're talking about? Your podcast or what?
It's actually Tuesday, I think, the 24th, but next week, certainly. The topic, Tom said he just wants to talk about whatever I want to talk about. So what should I talk about?
Well, number one, this event, which will get it a lot of attention. And I would say number two, your podcast, which is totally awesome. You've got 2 episodes out now. I've been on Skype with you while you posted the second one, but the first one with Michael Malice, like I said, it was absolutely amazing. It was a real adventure.
Yeah, thanks. I've been very, very happy with the response to it. And Tom reached out to me. He was very excited about it, and he reached out to me and told me how much he liked it and asked for me to be on his show immediately. And so I said, I'm a big fan of his and can't wait.
And you've never done a show before?
Yeah, I've done it once before. That was a couple of years ago, though. So I'm very excited about it. And I will certainly be talking about this event and the podcast. And we're probably just going to, we might even get into a little argument.
Awesome. That's terrific.
I can't help myself.
No, I think that would be much needed. In fact, I just had Tom on my show, and as I edited it, I was regretful that I didn't argue with him more.
Yeah.
So this is something that you're going to be promoting the show on Tom Woods sometime next week. And if people are listening to this, it is next week. So,
Correct.
You're going to have to pay attention because this message is more urgent to you in the moment you're hearing this than to us in the moment we're recording it.
It's April 25th, Tuesday, April 25th. I will be on the Tom Woods show.
All right, perfect. Thursday.
Yeah, go ahead.
April 27th.
Correct.
You're going to be on Rogan.
I will be on Joe Rogan on April 27th. This is correct.
So these are 2 very large platforms where this event is going to be discussed. Yes. We have talked about a cap for the regular event of 50 tickets. And the reason why we picked that number is because we want it to be intimate enough, right? People are going to want to ask. We want to have, a group discussion and a Q&A format for the renegade views of current events and for the Blood and Freedom talk that works, right? I'm thinking we could get 200 people to this thing, but that just doesn't work for the Saturday event. So what we decided to do was have a special ticket for the sort of non-committal people. If they just want to come and meet you and hear you talk and see what other kinds of people are fans of yours, they can, for a lower price, attend the Blood and Freedom seminar by itself on Sunday. And that's a good time just to talk about the pre-sale prices that I wanted my audience to have exclusive access to today, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday leading up to your appearance on the Joe Rogan show, because I'm sure shortly after that it will be sold out. So the regular ticket is $199. There's a VIP ticket that is $299, and there's the Blood and Freedom seminar, and that's $69. So those are the three available options. And I wanted to just talk about the schedule that we laid out so far that we're still working on. We don't have a venue pinned down yet for Sunday. I have feelers out all over the town. I'm talking, it's like Sharon Stone in Casino almost, how she like had people in all these places. Ex-girlfriend, who do you know? The girl that I lived with when I was in Salem. Who do you know? Who has a hall? What are you connected to? I made friends with the guy at the front desk at the historic Hawthorne Hotel. I sent him an email a couple of days ago. I've talked to this man who's part of a secret club that has a secret clubhouse on the roof of the Hawthorne Hotel. I've talked to people from the town, people from, I'm still working on people from the college, but I'm trying to find something that's interesting, that has some character, and that can possibly accommodate more people for a larger Sunday event, which will also include, after the Blood and Freedom seminar, we're going to do a live in front of a studio audience podcast recording where people will actually be able to get up on mic if they have the courage and do a speed debate with you. And we talked about we're gonna create some rules of engagement for this, but a person will have 10 minutes. We'll give the VIP ticket holders priority, and they can have a spirited discussion with Thad on a subject of their choosing. And you'll get to be in the record on School Sucks Podcast.
You didn't mention the cage part.
The cage?
Yeah, I thought you said
in a cage. I don't know. I was thinking that. I know you're a fan of the movie The Warriors. I was thinking we could give everybody a Molotov cocktail and they just have to use it judiciously.
No, I prefer my deadly fists.
In a cage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll see. I mean, we don't even have a venue for that pinned down yet, so we might find a place with a cage. You know, it's funny, kind of like just barely related to that. Speaking of cages, we talked about doing this at Salem State University, and I used to live in the town, and I said to you, no, that's just kind of like a blah place. It looks like it was built in the 60s, but I had only ever driven by it. So I started digging into the history of it. I find that the foundation for the original college there was a Horace Mann normal school, or sometimes called a laboratory. There's still an elementary school open in the town of Salem that was once affiliated with the college that is called the Horace Mann Laboratory School. I was thinking about calling them tomorrow. It's
totally perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, as you know, I think I said this to you before, right?
Mm-hmm.
My college, Antioch College, right, was founded by Mr. Mann, and there's still a monument to him on that campus, and everybody still worships him. And I know you're a big fan of Horace Mann, and he means a lot to me too.
Yeah.
So it would be great to honor him and his legacy and what he passed down to all the school children in the United States since the 1830s. I think we should really honor what he means to our society.
Absolutely. And my favorite story about him is that he would write these annual reports to the Education Board in Massachusetts. And his 7th report was about how awesome the Prussian schools were and how they needed to be brought to America. His 6th report was about how you can learn everything you need to know about a person by feeling the contours of their head. So yep. 2 great reports back to back from Horace Mann.
Yeah, he was a great man. Yeah. And as I said, I really want to make sure that everyone understands the greatness of his ideas and how important they've been.
So I'm just picturing that at the older part of the college, it has like 4 different campuses. There is a building called the Horace Mann Building, and there is a statue out in front of it that says, be afraid to die until you've accomplished some great thing.
Some great victory for humanity. I know it was on my campus too.
Yeah. So I'm hoping there's a creepy old building that they don't even rent, but I can talk them into renting to us for this Sunday event. But there's the old Salem town hall. We looked at either things were booked or they didn't have air conditioning or they weren't in the right place. But I have like combed the entire city looking for venues, and I want to find someplace really special for Sunday. On Saturday, for the smaller event, which is going to be capped at 50 people. By the way, of those 50 people, we're going to sell 12 VIP tickets. We decided that was the magic number to give people a really special experience, and 38 of the regular $199 tickets. And those are the prices right now. These prices are going to go up after Rogan, but that's the pre-sale price that my audience can get them at. Because like I said, I want some of our people there. I think you have a good rapport with my audience, and people are always excited when you're on the show, and I want some of those seats filled with those people. So,
I think I've told you this privately.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I've been on Rogan twice. I've been on Tom Wood's show. I've been on Fox News many, many times. Been on many shows.
Right.
And certainly the most of the people who know about me from Rogan.
Right.
But number two, and I've actually done a survey.
Yeah.
So I actually really do know. But I just anecdotally, number two, the second is your show. I get so many people saying that they found out about me from School Sucks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, that's true. And it's a very high quality, and I'm not bullshitting or flattering. It's really true. Like, these are people who really get what I'm saying. They're not just like turned on by the fact that I said shit about SJWs on Rogan.
Right.
They're really grappling with the ideas, which is exactly the kind of person I want to have in my classrooms, in Renegade University, and at this event. So I can't imagine, honestly, this is no bullshit. I can't imagine a better audience to have for this.
I feel exactly the same way, and I look forward to being able to do some recording and getting, those interactions captured for the entire audience, thousands of people who obviously can't make it to the event. So we talked a little bit about what's happening on Sunday and all these different, I've got these feelers out looking for the perfect place. Saturday, we have a place. It's at the very historic Hawthorne Hotel, where I made friends with the resident historian at the front desk. And the Hawthorne Hotel is basically smack dab in the middle of Salem. So if you go out the hotel doors and you walk south for 10 minutes, you're at the waterfront area, which is very historic, but there's also like some nice restaurants there. It's really, really nice in the summer. If you walk out the hotel front door and you walk west, you're on this pedestrian walkway where there's a museum. There's a bunch of interesting shopping places. And Salem is interesting because it's checkerboarded with like really, really neat historical sites and a lot of like weird new agey palm reading bullshit, because like the whole witch appeal has attracted a significant new age movement. So it's a really interesting combination of sightseeing for somebody who's interested in history and likes to kind of chuckle at things new agey. The palm readers, the witches, the magic crystals, it's all there. But, right next to that, there's some amazing historical site from, the 18th century. So it's a very, very cool town. I live there. I know the town well. If you go out the hotel the other way, I guess north, you're in this beautiful common area where you can walk around, and there's all these historic houses. All the houses get these little plaques that tell you when they were built and maybe who they were even built for. Chestnut Street is right there, which is all the houses. This is not, good for the purposes of your narrative, but it's like all the ship captains and the wealthy people, not the people who are the stars of Renegade history of the United States, but really, really breathtaking scenery for people who are interested in history. So we're going to do the event on Saturday at the Hawthorne Hotel. And because it has this central location, and because we're going to be, taking breaks and encouraging people to get out and walk around the area, it's also going to be August 5th and 6th, and it's hot there then. So we chose a space that is on the lower floor, and it's kind of protected from the outside elements. So it's not, huge picture windows or anything like that, but I think it will be a nice respite. It's like a cool, small area where it will be an intimate gathering, but it will be a nice break from, being outside in the heat. But the heat and the outside will also be a nice break from being in this room. So I thought it was perfect. The location was perfect. The room was like a nice small size where people will be right in each other's face. And like I said, we'd do something bigger on Sunday.
Stop talking about the rooms, Brett. That's not why they're coming. They're coming to fight me.
Right. And in this room, they will be right in your face.
Yeah, they're coming to fight me.
But if people are uncomfortable with the idea of being in someone's face, this room is big enough that you can sit in the back and no one will bother you. There
will be no fighting. There will be. I was just going to say about your audience. I mean, that is what I like about them the most is that they might be the only audience that really does this with me, is consistently engage me in a contest of ideas. So they're challenging me. They challenge my ideas.
Right.
We have disagreements. We have some agreements and some disagreements. And, they don't come at me and they don't moralize. They don't use ad hominems. They don't call me names, which of course we all get. But and it's funny. There's some central questions that school sucks people, just can't stop getting at. I mean, they just want me to answer some certain questions with them. And it's great. I love that so much. That's who I want. Those are the students I want. Those are the people I want to talk to. I want to have not a fight, but I want to have a friendly debate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't wait.
And I do think that I agree that, enough people in my audience will definitely provide that, which is why I want to fill a good number of seats with those people. The Friday night, we were going to do something, just for the people who buy the, VIP tickets. We were going to take everyone out to dinner. So it'll be me, you, 12 other people. And then we were going to do like a walking tour, of the area. And it's interesting. In Salem, there's actually this red line that they've painted all around the town. And if you follow the line, you can see all the historic sites that the town decided you should see. But there's some really interesting aspects of Salem, Mass, that are neglected from that tour, and those are some things that we'd probably be talking about during the weekend as well. So Friday night, small, very intimate group, dinner, a nice walk around. Saturday is the big day where we'll do the seminar on Renegade views of current events, group discussion, Q&A, breaks for people to walk around and look at the area, and then some socializing after. There's lots of great bars. I was really actually, for a small city when I lived there, I found that the nightlife was pretty lively. And there's also a maritime festival happening there this week, that weekend. And the people in the know assured me that it wouldn't cause us any inconveniences, but it might produce, an interesting scene at night around the town. And then Sunday, we're going to do the Blood and Freedom seminar. That will be a few hours. And then we're going to do the live in front of the audience podcast. And that's the plan.
Do people know what you mean by Blood and Freedom?
Oh, yeah, I think you should talk a little bit about what that is for anybody who doesn't know. Most people in my audience would be familiar with that.
Well, so, yeah, Blood and Freedom is the book I'm working on now. I'm almost finished with it, and I've been working on it for 6 years. And it is an extension of the arguments in Renegade History of the United States to the history of U.S. foreign policy and, more generally, to America abroad. So that includes the diffusion of American culture, in particular American popular culture, to other countries over the last 150 or so years, and the effects of that. So it's a full survey. It's a rewriting of the history of the U.S. in the world, and it'll be published by Grove Atlantic Press next year. And it really does. And of course, I didn't know this when I started writing it. And in fact, my publisher, Grove, my editors at Grove, I had a meeting with them recently, and they said, "Oh, wow, my God, these are the questions that are being raised right now with the election and Trump and the question of non-interventionism versus interventionism, et cetera. And so they are even more excited about this book than before and want to make sure that it comes out in time for the midterm elections of next year, when these questions will undoubtedly be very hot, of course, also because of what's happening in the Trump administration and in the world. So all of this is going to be very, very relevant, and it's sort of amazing. I do watch every single day the questions that I raise in the book being talked about in the press, in the highest levels of government and the media. Every single day, it's a new experience for me. And the thing that people are going to get when they come to this seminar in Salem this August, they will be the very first people in the whole wide world, including, because even my editor will not have had the full manuscript by then, they will be the very first people in the whole wide world to get the full history that explains what Trump is doing and what his opponents are doing simultaneously. That's
awesome.
Around foreign policy. So it's really, really exciting to me. For me, it's going to be the really, in a sense, the first test of these ideas that I have and this way of telling that history. And again, couldn't have a better audience, because your people are sympathetic but always critical minded, and not that they are at least as smart as academics, but they are not of the academy, and so they don't come in there with boxes ready to put me in so that they can throw me out.
Absolutely.
So this is great and perfect, and I'm super excited.
Terrific. So the last thing we have to tell people is how they can get tickets over the next 4 days.
Okay. So that'll be on my website, ThaddeusRussell.com. There will be a page there devoted to this event, and you can do the whole thing there. You'll get the information about the event, and you can buy tickets there.
All right. And if anybody has any questions, just send me an email. Keep it brief if you can. School Sucks, Brett at schoolsucksproject.com. Use the subject line. It's a good subject line that would also make a good hashtag. How about ThadFest? Because we got Porkfest up here in June. So let's use the the subject line ThadFest. So I know to open it right away and answer your question, so you can get in.
As long as people are clear that you came up with that idea, not me.
Absolutely. No, that's a T-shirt awesome. Right there, that I could wear at Porkfest. So give me a badass picture of like you from the neck up, and it'll say "Ask me about ThadFest." So
awesome. Love it.
Awesome. All right, so that's ThaddeusRussell.com. If you have questions, email me, Brett at schoolsucksproject.com. Again, this is Friday for VIPs, and the main event is Saturday and Sunday, August 5th and August 6th in Salem, Massachusetts, a fantastic and interesting town. So looking forward to it.
Awesome.